And welcome back, friends, to the Soul Material Podcast, the podcast you cheer for and the channel you cheer for. I'm your man, the OGEO,
And I'm T Mark the Street Shark.
and we're here to do what we do traditionally every single season. Kicks on court. What are these ballers wearing on the court? They got people going nuts. We're going to go right into it. T Mark the Street Shark, Mr. Show and Tell. Show us what you got, brother.
All right, we love a good show and tell. Now we got a nice little sample size of the season. Now we just got kickoff all the way through Christmas. So we got to see a number of different shoes. So now we're just some of our highlights and favorites of noticeable kicks. So the first one I want to spotlight, because we love a good show and tell, is the Asia Wilsons. The Asia ones, A1s. All right. So this colorway is actually the WNBA All-Star colorway, but I just love seeing so many NBA players rocking these on the court. It's actually a really comfortable shoe, especially for the model. I think the Asia 2s might actually cost more, so just be careful. Hopefully that equals a bigger technology upgrade, but like this was a good first signature shoe, you know what I'm saying? And the fact that we always talked about how the crossover with the WNBA and the NBA is always a great thing. Like, we're all on Curry watch right now, and it's always good to see Curry and some Sabrina Ionescu's, you know what I'm saying? And so that crossover between the WNBA, especially the WNBA players with signature shoes, love to see the NBA players rocking some of those as well. So Asia Wilson, A1. Nike A1s. We'll just keep it simple over here, but this is just a great shoe. Nice silhouette. It's actually, it looks like the toe box is kind of pointed, but like when you have these on, like it actually is good for us wide footers. You know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't come to a point like certain shoes do. It does kind of round it up, but like I hope that you can see in the camera of the width of this particular shoe. But I actually went up a half size, so I know people like to ask those questions of us when we show off the shoes. So I actually went up half size, and it fits perfect for a wide foot. All right. I'll toss it to you, OG. Some NBA kicks on court. What do
Hey,
you notice?
I
You
only
might
got
have
two
picked up a pair
words.
too.
I got two words for you, Shark. Believe that. And I think people just forget how young this young man is and the trajectory of him. But these, Shark, are one of them ones. The AE2. I got these early. I was pressed for them. And like what you said about the Age Wilsons, that looked like a pointy toe box. But for our wide footers, our Flintstone foots, trust me, these things are so comfortable. Shark, I actually have a pair I ball in as well. These things perform extremely well. So not only are they attractive to the eye, that you could, I'm going there, rock your jeans with your basketball sneakers. These are just really perform well on the court, man, as far as their response. And yeah, man, as of the time we record this, the Timberwolves are still top 5 in the West. Anthony Edwards is still doing his thing. He broke some ankles, and he's on a trajectory of doing great things. And Adidas continues. Great things are going to continue for him because remember when we first saw, I guess, the prototype of these, the internet was just dogging these beyond comprehension. I'm like, dude, they're prototypes. You guys have not seen the final product. You guys know what they're going to look like. And I love the ones, and I'm in love with the twos. So I'm just imagining with the extra colorways, all-star colorways, playoffs, and so forth, just Shark, if we get an idea of this, what you and I can do along with the soul material way of going about this shoe and its design, we will this will go nuts for us. So but shout out to AE doing this thing. Timberwolves is still in that tough West winning. He's got a winning shoe on his hands, Shark. Believe that.
I believe it. Yeah, that's Anthony Edwards doing his thing. This was another one of those shoes that grew on a lot of people simply because of the early sketches. It was so dramatic away from the AE1s, and the AE1s were sneaker of the year, and for last year. So how do you top the sneaker of the year? Without just moving on and forgetting about it. but I think that this is it, and then I think the performance is selling a lot of people. I was trying to be a little more patient myself because I really wanted to see more colorways too, so that I decide on what I want, because I was buying AEs, just getting them and then like deciding later, you know what I'm saying, the AE one. So I was just like, I don't want to do that again. But like, yeah, where the petition? We need to make a petition and pass it around our followers. Like, bring back the ID from Adidas. Some of you don't even know that they used to have it. We might have to do a just an ID episode. You know what I mean? Because I got some Adidas that we can bring out. So
And also,
so
Shark, just to mention as well, just like you said with the Age Wilsons, I did go a half size up on these. So I got 11 and a half on these, and they're perfect. So keep that into consideration, guys. You might want to go a half size up on these just to get the full performance of the shoe.
yeah, half size up on the AE ones. For me, but some people didn't need. I don't think everyone needed to go half size up on the AE ones, but I'll say the GT Futures fit like the AE ones.
Hmm.
Okay, just crossing over a couple episodes, but since we're getting feedback and getting clarity over popularity, and that's like the number one thing that we get DM'd in comments is what size, what should we do? So like again, we have certain features of our feet, so like our advice is exclusive to that type of foot. So we're trying to tell you when we talk about Flintstone feet and wide feet and everything like that ain't for everybody. You know what I'm saying? So speaking of sizing, here's another shoe that there's a lot of questions of sizing online. Everyone that actually said go up a half size, and I'm glad that I did not, because I tried it on. So this shoe was out last year, and it's back again this year. But we're talking about kicks on court because they're prevalent, and then more importantly, there's a very special and unique player that wears PEs of these, and there's more recent ones for the Christmas pack, and they're going to be debuting some new shoes. Still not their signature, but new shoes in February for All Star. We got the GT Hustle 3. All right, you see that alien right there on the tongue? Yeah, so you know who that is. That would be Victor Wembanyama of the San Antonio Spurs, who's balling like crazy. The Spurs are doing great this year. They seem like they are uh, the kryptonite to the Oklahoma City Thunder. All right, so love to see how that matchup unfolds throughout the season and how they get matched up in the playoffs. So, what colorway are you looking at? In case people forgot, this is the Black Label Premium Edition that released during All-Star Weekend. All right, so these were limited. There was only a couple thousand. They literally, the birth year of the signature athlete, that is the quantity of what was that's the quantity of what was produced. All right, so I love these, and I love that little extra flaming, and like, look at the embroidery on top of this. So a lot of people said, first of all, this shoe gives you such a high ride from the court, so you don't get any court feel on this. All right, you know what I mean? But the way that these articulate and pronate, like sometimes it just looks weird on Wemby's foot because it's big and skinny, so it looks like it doesn't give, but like it does. And a lot of people said you needed an extra because that toe box is it looks a little flat on top. And I was like, yo, if you look at the mesh on here, there's no leather on here or any other, it's kind of like that fly wire. But notice how the toe box is kind of like this U around, not like a rectangle square. So like this was made to lock down here a little bit more, and then you don't have that like fold over flex in the toe box. So like I didn't mind any of that, and this is still a mid cut, yeah. You know what I mean? So this is just, I really like this shoe that, and they're actually more comfortable than I thought, because I actually tried on a couple different of the Team Bank colorways when I was in the outlet store. We told you that's a little tip. Go try on the shoes at the outlet, all right, and then buy your stuff online or whatever. This was a $60 cop order acquisition from Dick's Sporting Goods on the low, So just wanted to shout out the GT Hustle three that is prominent on the NBA courts this year. In particular, we've gotten at least three different not including this one, PE colorways for Victor Wembanyama, the Alien, and including the Let It Snow Christmas pack that actually had like a little snow globe on the tongue with the Alien logo with a little snow like in a snow globe and everything like that. So there you go. GT Hustle 3 Victor Wembanyama Black Label. All right. But this model all over the NBA courts now, performing very well. Performing very well. All right. Um, you may not have copped the shoe, OG, but was there any other shoes that you were thinking about that was just like, man, this stands out? If I had it, if they had this in stores, I'd go get it right now. Any other shoes that you saw on the NBA hardwood that got your attention? Doesn't even have to be a signature.
Yeah, well, it got my attention and also hurt my feelings because they should be in my hand. I thought they had them in my hand, and it was like, poof, vamoose, someone up. And I was like, what just happened here? I thought I had a hookup with the Jalen Brunson Kobe's, and one text went one way, and then a phone call went another. And I was one of those, I was in my own way to say, if I'm not getting my 11 and a half, then don't even worry about it. I don't feel like trading. I don't feel like going through. So, but that Jalen Brunson, Kobe, I thought it was just a very clean silhouette, a very clean colorway. And given where I am right now, grew up a New York fan, but I'm diehard. I stick with the home teams, Wizards, Commanders, Capitals, Nationals, but grew up a Knicks fan because the Bullets was always just not going to the playoffs and worthy after going to Capitol Center a couple of times a year. And that's a shoe that I love seeing him ball in. He is balling. I think he's definitely in consideration for MVP this year, given how well the Knicks have been playing, even with the injuries and change of coach and everything. But yeah, those slipped through the cracks of my hands, Martin, literally. And I'm still a little bit heated about that. But again, we already know it's always a good redemption story. There's never a time where you just miss out. And in sneakers, man, you just never know when there's going to be a restock. You catch someone slipping and someone wants to let him go. So I'm looking forward to eventually having that shoe in my possession. But shout out to Jalen Brunson, who has been what the Knicks have needed for the past 30 years at point guard. So my man says, nature, I grew up a Knicks fan. They had Strickland. They traded him. Since then, son, I hated him. And now Brunson came and finally reversed that curse. So shout out to Nike. Shout out to Vanessa and RIP to Kobe. And I even saw on social media where I did not realize the lineage and connection of the grassroots of that shoe with Kobe and with Jalen Brunson. So as you always say, Shark, telling the story. And I was one had a story in my hands, but it's not now. It's just on hold. So shout out to Jalen Brunson for rocking those kicks and representing Kobe well and the Knicks well in that shoe.
Nice, yeah, the Statue of Liberty motif, and yeah, we love a good story, especially when the backstory is such a straight line. Like if you didn't know about him being young, if you don't know about Jalen Brunson's mom and how she was even helping, she's the one that's connecting him to Kobe. So if you didn't even know about Powerful, you know that his dad was a former NBA player. But shout out to the moms too. You know what I'm saying, for really staying 10 toes down in the basketball world and helping connect some dots. So it's always a pleasure. So, but like you said, that's a great tip for the audience to practice your art and be patient. Everything doesn't always work out, but you really got to go back to like season 1 Soul Material or even Exhibition where we talked about this concept. All right, and I kind of coined it the mini shoe destiny. All right, so as we navigate through life and manifest destiny and things that are for us and universal ebbs and flows, you just you throw it out there, it'll come back if it's meant to be. Otherwise, it just wasn't meant to be, and we're not stuck on that stuff because you will not get any hype beast action from the Soul Material crew. All right, not a nana. All right. So let me close the show, just talking about another signature shoe. All right, that's on the hardwood. Many players are rocking. There's so many colorways going on, and this is another shoe that we've now, by the time we're recording this, the second edition of this signature player. We've seen it. We got some release dates coming soon for 2026, but right now, oops, wait, I gave it away again. There you go. All right, who that? All right, we're talking about Devin Booker, Phoenix Suns. All right, D Book 1. All right, we've already talked about it. But like, here's another color, ladies and gentlemen. The Sharks up to 3 right now. I actually had 5, but I just I had to get rid of them, and I was like, they'll come back later because they keep marking these down. You can get these for like $50, $60 now. Like every color. Now this is the one I had to go half size up again. So my 12 and a half isn't everywhere. But if you wear a 12, man, you can get these for $50 or $60 in like 9 different colors almost right now. You know what I'm saying? So
And I
like,
posted on my
please.
IG, there was the that denim colorway was $29.99 at Dick's Sporting Goods. If you were into brick and mortar, I took pictures and I got proof of it, so they can be copped.
I believe you. All right, that was the Kentucky Wildcats denim colorway. This is a Safari. All right, this I got these for like $53. All right, off the Nike site. All right, because they were discounted, and then they had the extra percents off for the Black Fridays and Cyber Mondays and stuff like that. Now they're just like $58 with no discount right now. So go ahead and check that out. I didn't plan on getting the Safaris, but I love it when this was a great silhouette to mock up, traditional Air Max 95s, or any other classic Nike shoes. And the inspiration, I've already shown you some of the OG ACG colorways, all-star colorways, inspired by the Phoenix Suns, the all-star game in Phoenix in 96. So yeah, and then just the details of this Safari edition. All right, got the D book, and then look at the Safari print. Like,
Shout
come
out to
on.
Phoenix too, who at the time of recording this are balling right now, and they are also above 500, which surprised a lot of people in the league. So shout out to D Book for being the team leader that he is and got them boys balling in Phoenix right now.
Yeah, they got more symmetry, different coaching, and players that match, and complement each other. That is, you know what I'm saying? Like, not to say that there was a lot of paper champs going on with Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, and then now neither one of them were there. But they were, both of those players were zapping up such high salaries that you couldn't spread out the budget for everybody else. But yeah, shout out to D Book and the Phoenix Suns hanging in there. And now we've already seen the D Book 2s that are kind of inspired by multiple models, but the one that sticks out the most is the Spiridon. And we're classic OG, and we've talked about the Spiridon. That's a great shoe, and it does translate now. So I just can't wait to see what more colorways are coming. I might probably, right now I'm like, I don't know if I'll have as many 2s as I have 1s, because they kind of look different based on the materials. But this, you can see the consistency of this silhouette. So just interested to see, but some of his PEs of the 2s that he's already wearing, especially the Phoenix Sun Spiridon colorway with oh my goodness. I hope they release one of those. But there you go. You got the D Book 1 Safari edition, so we're just going through some kicks on court, some stuff that really stuck out to us, and I hope that you see. I'm sure AE2s are coming to a poster near you as well. D Book, that silky smooth jumper. You're always going to see that on some highlights while you're scrolling as well. And with Victor Wembanyama just filling up the stat sheet. And then we love a good Asia, you know what I'm saying? Because she gets to keep the conversation going through the summer and through the NBA, you know what I'm saying? And of course, she's in the news even more because of who she's dating. Bam Adebayo, you know what I'm saying, of the Miami Heat. So he's rocked them. He's a Jordan Brand athlete, but he's also rocked the Asia ones, warming up, and so you can see those photos shared online as well. But if he wasn't a Jordan athlete, he's a Nike athlete. I'm sure we'll see plenty more Asia Wilsons in the meantime. So, any other final words from the OG as we wrap up, our first quarter of the season annual episode of NBA Kicks on Court?
I'm just looking forward to All-Star Weekend because historically that was time where bring them out with the kicks. And I think that this year we may be going back to the day from what some things that I think will be revealed and what people are doing. So I'm looking forward to us doing this episode the second time around and seeing how the All-Star and that second half of the year does with the kicks on the court. But shout out to everybody, man. It's been a great year. And again, seeing the women's game just evolve the way that it has, getting the props it deserves. And the fellas when the women's kicks, man, does so much for not just the popularity of the game itself, but just paying the homage and the respect when it's due. And I think that people cannot underestimate how huge that is just for the brand of the game itself. Grassroots, male, female, just overall, man. So shout out to the NBA players for not just supporting Sabrina and Asia and all the guys that have signature kicks, but even going as well as having their own or having customized. Like I'm seeing a lot of things going on as far as the men supporting the women's game and more than just with their mouths. They're walking the walk as well. So that has been an ongoing thing the past couple of seasons. It's good to see that continuing as the women fight for their right with the WNBA for higher salaries and other things. So that being said, Shark, let's get it. But I cannot wait till All-Star Weekend to see what kicks are going to be out there. And I know there's Tweety Bird that tells me that you may be reporting live again. So we'll see.
You never know. All right. So yeah, as we wrap up this episode, you made a great point, OG. So thanks for really just giving our audience just a glimpse into the future, something to look forward to, and really just planting that seed. So I'm gonna take it a little bit farther before we wrap up and just really bookmark the Easter egg. All right. All-Star Weekend, ladies and gentlemen, 2026 in LA. There's If things are happening like the Shark is hearing, some big things are going to happen. Or this All-Star that doesn't normally happen. All right. So it'll be a good thing. And I'll tell you all about it when it happens as well. But I can't say right now because I can't say. I'm not allowed to. But I really want everyone to look at All-Star this weekend, All-Star Weekend this year, 2026. Big things are happening, big announcements, big rollouts. We'll be there to tell you all about it. All right. But just know in this episode, we told you it's coming. All right. All right. So, and trust me, I cannot wait to tell you and share this information. All right. So that's a good tease. All right. So now you got to tune in next time to Soul Material Podcast, the podcast you cheer for, the channel you cheer for, so that you keep up with all the NBA kicks on courts and sneaker news. All right. So we're signing off. It's T Mark the Street Shark.
And OGO, until next time, peace to you.
Sneaker business talk. It's the Soul Material Podcast.